guys, welcome back and I want to know you. Welcome to another and the last reading wrap up of 2025. It is currently while I'm filming this December 31st, so technically it's the last day of the year. I I you know, I feel like this one was definitely it was good, but like I'm already like so ready for 2026 because I'm trying to like next year I want it to be the year that I become the best version of myself. So like I started healthy habits a couple days ago, habits that I've wanted to do, and you know, so like this morning I did my 5 minute drill, and then I worked out. I am trying my best to go like I even broke one of them because I want to not be on social media the first hour of when I wake up, at least like when I wake up. Like when I wake up, I don't want to, And I'm pretty good at what school starts, but with because I'm currently on winter break. Okay, I broke this one because I kind of forgot. I was like, oh my god, I forgot. So yeah, but it was good. I just, you know, reading expect, yes, it was, but I did hit my reading goal. Thank goodness. Because for a second, I was like, am I gonna be able to finish that? Because my goal this year was 95, and in total right now I've read 97. Oh, 98. I think I read 98. My next year's goal is 80 because I'm trying to not like force myself. But, I'm gonna make it 80 just to you know. So I'm just like trying to prepare prepare myself and all that. So, but yeah, like I said, today's video is going to be December reading wrap up. I feel like this one was good. I will say I feel like December is always the month that like you're trying to like finish your reading goals, so you read. So like I read 6 novellas that were under 100 pages long. Like the short was like 52, and the long was like 90, like 95. So I read a lot of those. So I'll combine all of those novellas because I feel like they're like pretty close together. So but yeah. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to get into the monthly stats like I always do. So I have my phone here that I'm just gonna tell you, So I read 11 books in total. I read 2,772 pages. 3 of those I read physically. I read 2 on Kindle, and then I listened to 6 audiobooks. Because telenovelas had the option where, because they're all Amazon originals, so you can have the option of reading on Kindle or listening to them on Audible for free. So I listened to them for free. And one was fantasy, none was romance, and one was other. I said other because I don't really know. I feel like it's literary fiction, but it's not. You know. So yeah. So yeah, I read. Like I said. So let's just get right into it. Cause I'm trying not, make this too long. But the first book, technically, guys, I've been reading this book since I started in August. I finished it in December. Thank goodness I did, because I feel like if I read a day longer, I would probably like. And that is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I remember when I picked this up last year, and because it kind of got like it was like popular, and I had never seen it in Books a Million the first time. The time I went, and I was like, I picked it up that day, and and it sat on my shelf, and then I tried to read it in June of this year, and I tried to listen to audiobook and stuff like that, and like the reason this book took so long is there's so much to digest. Like I know whenever the second book comes out, I'm probably gonna have to reread this, which I've accepted because I can definitely tell that like I forgot a lot of this stuff, and I followed the author on on Instagram. So like it's basically let me just read this to you. It's basically about our female character, Rave. She's basically has to do like she has to do orders and she can't get caught or whatever. Well, something happens where she ends up. Guys, I will say, when I was paying attention, this book was good, and I don't really know. I think when I was reading this one day and I stopped and then I went to go pick it up again, I actually missed a couple pages. Like I skipped and not knowing. So like I was reading one part one day and the next part I and the next thing I know I'm in the middle of a spicy scene. I'm like, oh my god. Which I don't know how I feel our love interest. I don't know, cause I feel like she's I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say this. The whole reason why this book took me so long is I was trying my best because I didn't pick this up. Like I think I read the first like some days I can read over 100 pages of this book, and some days I can only read like 5 or 10. It is bad on the day, my brain, capacity basically kind of, and it's just like sometimes I feel like I was just reading mush. Like like I feel like the words were not like I was just like because most of the time I feel like reading makes me feel like I'm in a story in the movie, whatever. But sometimes I'm just reading words on paper that like don't really make sense at all, and I'm just like I'm trying to visualize what happens, but like it's like so you probably had to have. It took me a while to read this. Was I would pick this up and pick it up, put it down, pick it up, pick it down, and I it's just like I don't understand, like, I don't know, like, I feel like there was definitely parts where I was more engaged and I liked it more, that it's because I was more, like, more in, when, I don't know how to describe how I felt about this, like, this was good. If I was paying attention and really following through it, yes, but I have a really small attention span, so everyone's probably like, how do you read? I'm like, if it's a good book, I can pretty much stay engaged. But when I'm reading something and like I really if it's like I know like if I'm reading something and I know something's coming up or something like I'm trying to get to a part I want to get to, I will skim. And that's for sure. Like books I've read before, I've skimmed and I'm a skim reader. I know. The word's out. I know it's so bad. Like I'm trying my best not to do, but sometimes I do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Hannah, what are you doing? Like I don't understand. So yeah, I enjoyed this. There's just I feel like I need to reread this again whenever the second book comes out, which I'm really excited for that to come out. But I'm probably gonna need because like we get female character and then we get like a diary point of view and it's like it's mostly on female POV, but we do get some other side POV, not often, but like pretty good bit. But like, yeah. So I ended up giving this 4. This is good. It just took me a long to get through because there's a lot of information, a lot of this book. This book has a 20-page glossary, and I went in blind. I watched one video, like I watched half of one video, and I said nope, I can't do it. And the book that there's another book. I got the House of Devil series for Christmas. I asked for it because I saw Emily Rosen read the first one, and I looked and it had like a magic. I was like, oh good gosh, I'm gonna have to read that, and I'm just like, oh good gravy alive. But yeah, so ended up giving that 4, which that was good. So the next book I technically read on Kindle, but I actually got it for Christmas. Well, I asked for it for Christmas, so I'll show you physically, but I read on Kindle, and that is Playfake by Riley Page. This is book 3 in the PCU series. This is a college. Well, no, I think it's in a chip. I think I know. I think it's in a shell. I don't know. It's hard because you know. So basically, this is the first, like I said, the third book in the PCU series, which the first one is Plug and Play, and the second one's Red Zone, and the fourth one comes out next month, which is like next month, which is like tomorrow. Kind of like I'm thinking about like, oh my gosh, is like tomorrow starts 2026, and it's scary. It's scary, but I'm like, what? But yeah, so basically, this is about my character Beck. He, I don't know how to describe how I feel about this book because originally I gave Broken Play 4.75 and I've got here Red Zone 4.5. I feel like I have to get this. I feel like I enjoyed Red Zone better, but I feel like I feel like, yes, it might be my least favorite, but like, I think I was such in a high when I read Broken Play that like, I was like, so I gave it 4.5, 4.75. I would probably lower that to a 4.75, 4.5, 4.25. I don't know. I think I was loving it so much at the time. I mean, I feel like that was low rating, but you know, but they're I don't know how to describe because this is like I don't think is this thing dating? You can tell. I feel like some of these books I feel like I read 2 months ago, but I read them this month, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I enjoyed this. I felt engaged with a couple. I just don't. It didn't give me that feeling that like I get with romance books I love. And it was quick, fast paced. You know, just a quick sports romance because sports romance is one of my favorite genres to read in the romance genre. And you know, quick because basically a female character, he's very closed off and he's very, it's hard for him to, and a female character, he has, like, if you have a gluten-free allergy, I would read this book because our male main character has that, and female main character shows him, like, but, like, she had, like, if you read the beginning of this book, you can tell that, like, I don't know how to describe how I feel this book because I kind of like you can kind of tell that like I loved the book, but like it wasn't anything like memorable when I can't remember half of it. I know that sounds so bad, but like so I'm like what? But yeah, I think it was 4.5. This was good. It was not my favorite, but it was cute, fun, had emotional. Well, okay, I will say, okay, it's coming back to me. Basically, his mom has a like. Basically, they meet. They meet in like a class. So they have to be in a college. This has to be college, right? Because like they meet, and and basically they have to like do this certain thing, and his mom has this certain condition that makes her like basically like crazy, not crazy, but I don't know how to describe it, but I think it's like, but I would say if you have that, if you read this book and you have, I can't remember what it's called, but like that's a big part in, this is a big, it's a big part in next character, I would say, you know, it's slowly starting to come back to me. It's good. So yeah, I think I'm giving this 4.5. This is good. It wasn't my favorite, but like it was. If I had to rank them right now, I would have to say Broken Play, Red Zone, and then Play Fake. That was still good. I will say that's still good. Okay, the next one I'm probably gonna get so much heat for it because I rated this book lower than I wanted to. But so that is Beartown by Frederick Foxman. This book, everyone who has read this book loves this book. Has given it over 5 stars most of the time. Like, Sarah Crowley gave us 5 to 6 stars. I know Rachel Catherine, she gave it 5 stars. Everyone loves this book, and I ended up giving it 3.5. And it's basically about this junior high school hockey team. Basically, the town is called Beartown, obviously, and basically the junior hockey team and basically they're close to getting to the semifinals. Like they're always been second best, and they're going to the semifinals, and they're playing this year is different, and well they get eventually there's something that happens with one of the hockey players that changes everything. And I just didn't feel attached to any of these characters. I feel like I was, like, when I say that I feel like I was just reading words on paper, not, like, nothing was, like, that's what it felt like, because I feel like I was not enthralled, and was not really interested, because it took the seating incident to happen, it took so long to happen, and when it happened, I feel like they didn't do what they needed to do, because he is so, like, one of the kids that, when it happened to, she, I don't know how to describe how I feel this, there's just, I enjoyed it, yes, in some parts. I feel like some parts I was just like, ugh. I don't know, I didn't really like I don't know how, I love Frederick Bachman's writing, I just don't know how, I didn't love it, I will say that. I didn't love it, I gave it 3.5, I don't know how to describe it, I feel like when the incident happened, yes, I felt enthralled, but like, I feel like, and just knowing that there's 2 more other books, I'm thinking something else gonna happen. I'm gonna read those because I feel like, you know. So yeah, I gave it 3.5. I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it. I don't know. I didn't feel any emotion towards it or any emotional. I don't. I just felt like it was just word on paper, ink on paper, basically. I felt like I was just like, I liked it. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it was, you know, not too memorable. But yeah, it was good. It was okay. But yeah, so the next book is, I read this on Kindle. This is the fifth book in the DC Star series. This is Sanbin by Tracy Kuto. This is, like I said, the fifth book in the DC Star series. This is a 6-star series for me. So when I found this book, found out this book was coming out, I was really excited. And this is about Brody Sanders and uh, Hannah Evans. So basically, it's about Brody Sanders. He's the head coach of the DC Stars hockey team, basically, and I feel my character, Hannah, is she's struggling to, she's a, she's um, a figure, maybe she is a figure, is she a figure skater? I think she is. And basically, she's experiencing burnout, and she's feeling not the love of the sport anymore. Well, you know, there's a one night stand that was at the beginning of this book you get to see. It's one night stand at the beginning, and then basically, Brody is a single dad of a 13-year-old. I think she's 13. Maybe she's 14. I think she's 13. 13 or 14. And basically, he enlists Hannah to basically coach his daughter. Well, it ends up where basically he helps Hannah find the love of the sport again. And I remember reading the first chapter of this book and being like, what? I was into it, but I think I love this book to death. Like, this is like a 4.75. The way they are, like, there was one scene that still is ingrained in my. You can definitely tell a book is like good to me when, like you can tell like I have favorite books when like I have scenes stuck in my head that are like my favorite out of the whole book. But it's I love it. Like this book, this is like if I had to rate the DC Star series right now, this would probably be my top three. I would have to say Power Play, Slapshot, Simbin, and then Hat Trick. I don't know. Hat Trick is still giving me the thing that I want. I gave it 4.5. 4.6. I think I gave Face Off 4.25. Slapshot. No, Power Play 4.75. Gave Slapshot 4.5, 4.75, and I gave Slapshot 1.7. And I gave Simbin 4.5, 4.75. So it's just like there's only two books that have gotten lower than the 4.75 star rating. And like knowing that I think we get two more after this one, and I know when this book ends, when this series ends, I'm gonna be so sad because I'm gonna be like, So yeah, I gave it a 4.75, like I said, and it was good. It was amazing. It gave me the butterfly, giddy, happy, sad. I think I felt every emotion in this book because he's grumpy. You know, but yeah. So the second, no, next book I read, the last physical one was I read In the Lively Event by Rebecca Yours. This is one of her romance books. I read the Opinion series that series. That series has is still continuing, but she has romance books. Like I said, she has this one. I think she has two more. I think. I know they're all military romance. This is Second Chance. This is about our male character. This is about our female character, Izzy, our male character, Nathaniel. Basically, they are on this plane together 10 years before. This is present slash, uh, present slash, present slash, what am I thinking? Present slash past timeline. And basically, you get to see the past. Basically, they were on this plane together. They experienced this plane crash, and basically, they're together the whole thing. And there's just this intimate, this ultimate connection between them. And you got to see. And I read this book, and like I said, I think I felt every single emotion. And I was just figuring out when I was like in the middle of this book, and I said, "What's the point?" Because I felt like the present when they they hated each other. I was like, but they didn't like each other so well as they did 10 years before. But it's just like I enjoyed this. I don't know, some parts annoyed me, some parts icked me out. There was one part that like they would have like a fight and a mutual presentation of some sort. And cause it felt like a very back and forth. But the present timeline felt very back and forth. And it was just like, I know how I felt about it, that certain scene, and that kind of icked me out the rest of the time. I enjoyed it and I liked the way it ended, but I feel like the the way how the present the past ended felt very abrupt. It felt very like she needed the way to end it, so she ended it. I don't know how to describe it. I think I gave it this full. I think I ended up giving this 3.75. This was good. It was great. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite, obviously, but like, yeah, it was good. Like, at some point it felt like a 2 star. Sometimes it felt like 4. Sometimes it felt like 3. So I felt like 3.5 is good for it's good. So yeah. So those are all the physical books all the So next 6 I read were on Kindle Unlimited, and they were all novellas in the same. So basically, Illinois Originals has these collections they make from popular authors. So they have the Meet Cute series, which those are all romances. They're all novellas. They're all under 100 pages at least. They have those, and then they have holiday for Christmas and stuff, holiday ones in one collection, and then they just made a third collection, which is all about vampires, which I enjoyed all different ways. I just feel like so the first one I'm just gonna combine these together because this is so easier. The first one was Heart for Slayer by Ellie Hazelwood, Falling by Christina Warren, Spicy Needle Curses by J.T. Gallagher, Space Vampire by Ruby Dixon, by What Friends Are All Monsters by Kimberly Lang, Beautiful Nightmare, um, Beautiful Nightmare, Beautiful Nightmare by Kimberly Robert. So basically, the first one from Ellie Hazelwood is about basically it's kind of a little of all of these. The first one, basically, this whole series is about vampires. Obviously, like they're all different creatures, kind of, and it's about this I guess girl. I don't know. Basically, I think she's a vampire, and she sees this slayer that she has known before, or something. I don't really know. I think half of these I was mostly paying attention, but I wasn't. It was. I ended up giving this one I think 3. I think half of it I was paying attention. Sometimes I was. I don't know how to describe any of these. Because some of these, I read the last one yesterday, and it was when I was like, oh my god, like what? Because basically, got a Slayer and they meet, and basically, I don't know how to describe these. I feel like if I were to describe, because they're all a blur. I would just say, because basically there's one that's about like she's basically, I think there's one that she lives in the space station that she's been basically tortured, kind of, but like and basically there's a monster on the loose, and she ends up falling in love with the monster. That there's one that she she basically she goes on this trail with her ex boyfriend, whatever. They end up breaking up in the little pages. That was like there's one, and she ends up end up being a guy that Hey guys, so I had to take a break 'cause I ate lunch, but so yeah, so all of them were different in their own ways. They were good. I just feel like I would probably have liked them better. Um, if you know, uh, I feel like I would have liked them more if they were. I don't know. I think I gave all of them between 3 and 2.5 stars. Like I think the lowest is 2 and the highest is 3. They were good, but they weren't my favorite. Like they were quick. They were the books that I needed to read so I could finish my reading goal. I read all of those books so I could, and I'm kind of glad I did that because I read 11 books this month. So yeah, but it was good. This month was a great month. It was good, but I'm ready for 2026. 2026. Hopefully 2026 is the year that we become the best version of ourselves. Do stuff that we need to do. So yeah, I'm trying to So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!